we fight to gain what we cannot take with us. It's in our nature.
Hello there, sorry from 17 once again. Those times when you start a commentary and you don't even have your headphones plugged in, those wonderful moments that nobody sees, where you feel like a massive bell end, which is an appropriate word because the term bell end is used a lot in this game. Yeah, there you go, that English heritage, staying proud. But this is Assassin's Creed Syndicate. This is my 100% sync walkthrough. That is not sync with a H, which it was earlier before Big Benedict pointed that out for me so I could fix it, so thank you, Bic. And also, it's not 100%... What the fuck did I put? SNYC, like some bizarre tribute NSYNC cover band. So I fixed the thumbnail as well, folks. I really don't have any excuse other than, do you know those moments where you look at a word so much and it doesn't have to be in the right order, but your brain just translates it for you? I think it must have been one of them moments. I know how to say synchronization. I apparently know how not to say sync when it comes to writing it down. But I also made the descriptions for the videos and that thumbnail pretty late, and I've been on a crazy stint at this moment in time making videos. Just to give you an idea, I've made nearly 200 videos in 2 weeks. That is nearly 100 videos a week, and I don't know if you've ever made a video. Sometimes they can be really quickly, really easily, and no stress whatsoever. Other times, not so much. And when you have a defective capture device that makes everything twice as much work, you know, when you just are an unlucky person to begin with, it all adds up. But this is Assassin's Creed, so I should really discuss what's going on. At this moment in time, I'm fighting with the controls because, as you know, Assassin's Creed is that game where you want to go that way, it wants to go this way, so you're going to be going up and down like an idiot for a while. And the detection on opening the chests every so often just doesn't detect. It's fantastic like that. Here we go. There it was. And thank you. So, the optional objective here is to use darts on fire sources near enemies to affect 9 enemies. Really easy objective, and the mission itself is pretty simple. You just have to open up some boxes and get on with your thing. So I'm going to show you a pretty circuitous route, and a couple of more tips that I've found having played this game for an extra day now. There is an ability on the skill tree for both characters that increases how good your eagle vision is. Buy it. Buy both of them. They're very cheap, they will pay dividends. And the reason is, because the stealth on this game doesn't work too great, you're going to need every advantage you can. The 3rd level of eagle vision sees people through walls and gives them an arrow on the map. So your minimap will tell you what direction they are facing, and it's going to make everything just so much more easier. And this is not a challenging game, guys. If you've ever played an Assassin's Creed before, you know they're more just kind of enjoyable romps into, you know, historical periods. They're not games that you play to be challenged too much. If you're going for 100% sync, there are a couple of tricky moments with bad checkpoints and questionable objectives, but they're not the type of thing that's going to make you rage quit or, you know, just get to the point where you can't go on, because they're not that kind of game. And I think it's a nice contrast when you are playing those kind of games. Like, recently I've been playing a lot of Dark Souls Scholar in New Game Plus scenarios, and I thought the enemies placements was terrible in New Game. Well, New Game Plus just amps the bullshittery and makes it even worse. So I've not really been having much fun with that outside of, you know, a couple of boss fights and a couple of sequences I do enjoy. So when this game came, it was awesome to just pop it in and have something different, as that level 4 thug there moonwalks all the way into position, and then I can fire that at him. So that is our optional objective done, and all we have to do now is loot the remaining 2 crates, and then we're going to do a little bit of platforming. But there is one thing in this game that stood out as being absolutely amazing, and I'm so glad I found it. The shipping lanes. On the Thames, at certain points, there are these lanes where vehicles are going back and forth. A shipping lane, effectively. And they're going at different speeds. Some of them are fast, some of them are like chained together by rope, and it enables you to froggy your way across the water. And it feels really cool. It legitimately feels like the first time you played, you know, maybe the train level in Uncharted, any kind of fast-moving, unconventional area level, that's what it felt like. And when I was crossing that lane, it was really exciting. Like, this is amazing. This is so much better than this game at this moment. Like, it makes it a better game for having it inside of it. And I really hope there's going to be a mission that showcases it, because I think it was really, really fun. And some of the missions are a little bit hit and miss. I'm not going to be doing the side missions because you don't need them for what I'm achieving here with this walkthrough. I will be doing the gang wars though, because I think they're the most interesting part of the game as far as the combat goes. You generally do a big, you know, Gangs of New York fight, Daniel Day-Lewis and everything, and then you fight a big boss kind of character. And the bosses on this game so far, really not digging them. He wasn't bad because I got to punch him off a train, which is always a fun day. But I fought this lady a few hours back, and there was a sequence where she goes into almost like a vignette, like a cutscene, and then you have to counter her. And the first attack, it takes about 50 minutes to swing at you. I'm pretty sure you get a calendar telling you when it's going to happen. The second attack was a super fast jab. And then when you restart checkpoint, because one of the optional objectives is, of course, don't take damage from the counters or something, like do all the counters, it took a minute to load and it's a 30-second fight. Like, come on, fucking hell. It's this super isolated one-on-one. Why does it take that long to load? But the good news is, you don't have to do it. I found a really sneaky strategy which doesn't allow her to go into that section. It completely skips the phase, and I just shitbang her with a Colt single-action army. And yes, I will be making references to Revolver Ocelot because I think you have to. It's just one of those things. I might even do a couple of Metal Gear Awesome references, but we'll see how the mood takes us. So, the ship I'm about to get on here is actually the second ship. It's the one at the helm. It's the one behind it that has the cargo on it. From here, you can kill these guys however you want. You don't have to worry about alarms. It's kind of weird that this is a stealth game, but one of the things it does the worst is the stealth. And it's just that Ubisoft thing. It's like this seal of lacking quality that Ubisoft seemed to nail so perfectly. Like, platforming. You know, it's really great animation-wise. It looks pretty good, but mechanically, it's unsound. Seal of lacking quality. The combat, it can look really good. Sometimes it can feel really good, but for the most, it's pretty lacking. You know, that seal of lacking quality. And I'm so happy to announce that they've added a grapple mechanic. Can you remember playing the Arkham games? Did you like the Arkham games? Well, if you did, this game is going to frustrate you beyond all belief, because you're going to be looking up in front of you, mashing the L1, trying to get a grapple off to just cover distance a little quicker in a game where you spend a lot of the time traversing it, and it's not gonna work, because the detection is so lazy, you have a better chance of grappling things behind you than you do things in front of you. And whoever designed it, there is something wrong with his brain. And every review I've seen is paid advertising, because they're all saying that the grapple works great, it works fine, it does this, it does that. It doesn't! It just doesn't! There are times when it will grapple you 9 years away. You didn't want it to, but it did, and you were grateful that it had that ambition. Then there are times where it won't even do 2 feet. Like, it's so bad. And here's the drinking game for this walkthrough. Every time I do a grapple, and it does that, instead of going forward, take a shot. Every time I do a grapple, and you don't see the icon showing me where the grapple will be, take a shot. Because the indicator of where you're going to grapple is so sluggish and non-responsive that you've grappled before you've seen where you're even going. And it gives you almost no control over it. It's horrible. But you know what isn't horrible? The carriage racing, the driving of the vehicles in this game. And I don't know how they did it. Arkham Knight suffered heavily because of the Batmobile sections weren't up to the standard of what a lot of people wanted. I didn't mind them, but I appreciate people hated them. The vehicles in this game have absolutely no right to be as fun to drive as they are, and Ubisoft nailed it. And here's an outlining statement here, guys. There's your objectives, there's your completed mission. If everything in this game was as fun to do as driving those carriages is, it would be so much better. It really would. But as it stands, it's got that same Assassin's Creed issues that they'll always have, because Ubisoft would rather build a city and have a bunch of structural engineers and architects make it look fantastic than make the climbing work and feel great, because it just doesn't. It feels automatic and it feels schizophrenic. And thank you for watching. You take care now.